Hello everyone and welcome to this video from Optimal Ninja. Today we're going to be looking at how to find simple and effective entries with Optimal Ninja Quartz using just the bar painting and support and resistance. But first a little bit about the bar type we're using. Quartz comes with Optimal Ninja snap bars which are specifically built for ES and MES, and they have a unique characteristic. They always close either exactly on chart grid lines or exactly halfway between grid lines. No matter how many sessions you load, a bar can only close in these two positions. Unlike traditional Renko bars, which start building from the open of the session, snap bars use some clever logic to filter out opening gaps to give you uniformity of bars right across your charts. But the really cool thing about this is that we can now compare indicator readings at exactly the same closing prices across sessions. So for instance, we can compare an indicator level at this price with an indicator level at exactly the same price in yesterday's session, or compare what happened at this price yesterday with what happened at this price today. And it's very simple to spot congestion zones and support and resistance simply by noting the overlapping bars. Snap bars are the foundation of all Optimal Ninja Quartz signals, so let's have a look at some of those signals with version 2 of Quartz and how we can find good entries. So what we see here is ES, the June contract for Thursday, April the 18th, 2024. I've zoomed in on the first couple of hours of the US equities session, but you could choose pretty much any 2-hour period of the week to find similar setups. For the purposes of this video, we're using only the bar paint logic. I've disabled the other quartz plots so we can focus on the bar painting. So the outline of the bar is painted according to Smart Entry Finder, which highlights suggested scalp entries, and the inside of the bar is painted according to Smart Trend Finder, which identifies the dominant trend for with trend entries. What we're going to do here is simply look for entries in the direction of the dominant trend using snap bars as support and resistance. So there are 3 stages to this. Number 1, look at the color of the last painted trend bar. Number 2, identify support and resistance using overlapping bars. And 3, enter there. So let's start at the left of the chart and identify all the possible entries. As we come into the start of the equities session, the last painted bar was blue, so we're looking for longs. Now we need a minimum of 3 prior overlapping bars to qualify as prior support, which we actually have here, so we could buy the close of this down bar into support. Why is this support? Simply because price previously broke 50.70, pulled back to that level and found buyers there. It's important to note that in uptrends we're looking to buy only on down bars, and in downtrends we are only looking to short on up bars. In other words, we are trading against or fading the short-term direction. Now, if you traded with Renko bars before, you might be used to only taking momentum trades, for example, buying as the market moves higher. But a major advantage of the approach I'm outlining is that you are normally getting much better value on your entry price. For instance, if you wanted to go long in this area, you could wait for confirmation by buying the close of the up bar here, but your price is 12 ticks worse than buying here. And if you were using a fixed 1 bar stop, the dollar risk is exactly the same, so why not get a better price? Here we switch into downtrend mode, but there are no 3-bar overlaps, and so there are no short entries. If you're wondering why these 3 bars don't qualify for a short entry, it's because this level is not yet resistance. If you deconstruct what happened here, price broke above 50.58, pulled back on the subsequent bar, and rallied quickly off 15.58. So this bar pattern is support and not resistance, and we certainly don't want to be shorting into support. Here we've moved back into uptrend mode, so we're looking to buy on a pullback to support. So where would that support level be? Remember, we need at least 3 overlapping bars to qualify as support, so this grid line here is the buy point because we have this 3-bar range. In price action terms, this bar pattern was a breakout pullback to 50.58, and if the market comes back here again, it's reasonable to conclude there will be enough buying interest to generate at least a scalp profit. Again, buying here gets you much better value than taking a momentum long up here. And as you can see, there would be another 12-tick scalp profit, and in fact there's another profitable entry bar just 2 bars later for another 12 ticks. Coming up into the 50.70 area, we're still in buy mode, and we have a possible entry on this down bar here. This is a slightly different setup since we don't have 3 prior overlapping bars, but it's a breakout pullback to these 2 prior swing highs, so one could buy the close of this down bar. The next entry is here because it's another breakout pullback into these overlaps, and this entry repeats twice more, each for 12 ticks profit. You might note that we also have a couple of smart entry bar finder signals on the outlines, which means that you may want to hold longs open for a wider target rather than scalping out. This bar is a breakout pullback of this multi-bar trading range, so one could confidently buy the close of this down bar with a stop below the trading range. This bar isn't pulling back into prior support, but you may note that it is pulling back into this rising trend line, and therefore one could buy the low of this down bar on the basis that there is likely to be more buying interest on the fourth touch of the trend line. If you did take that trade on the following bar, we have a smart entry long signal, so it's probably worth holding there for a wider target of 24 ticks to the prior high. This transparent bar is a possible long simply on the basis that we have a recent reversal off the top of this 4-bar area, but of course a much better price would be down at this support level here, so I'm not that keen on that as an entry, but I certainly wouldn't take this short signal as there's simply too much near-term support. 3 bars later, we have another breakout pullback to prior overlaps, so you could go long here, and we have another smart entry finder long signal on the next bar, so you may want to target 24 ticks on that trade also. And finally, this down bar is a strong long, but that would be a losing trade as it breaks through support. Whenever you get an unexpected break of multiple overlapping bars, it's a warning that the dominant trend has changed and we should start positioning in the opposite direction. And in fact, that's what happened. Smart Trend Finder moves into short mode, and so from this point we start to look for short opportunities on the closes of up bars. And with that, I will bring this video to a close. My name is Richard. I hope you found this commentary interesting. For more information about quartz, head over to our website at optimalninja.com. I'm always happy to answer questions, so please comment below or email me through the site. In the meantime, all the best with your trading.